Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the movie Blade Trinity. Our movie begins with a group of people who land in Iraq looking to resurrect the corpse of Dracula Tomb Raider style, but not before this cool dude flips the sun off. Cut to Blade beating up some vampires in a warehouse, with some of them escaping, leading to a sweet car chase where Blade smiles a little bit too much for me to be comfortable with. This chase ends with Blade killing a man who he thought was a vampire, but in all actuality he was being set up by the Legion of Vampires. With all eyes on him, Blade and Whistler decide to bunker down in their safe house, where the FBI eventually find them, and the only solution these two can think of is to kill more people to try to clear their name. While Whistler stumbles around the compound blowing up computers and massacring a SWAT team, Blade is sneaking through the rafters. Whistler blows up the entire compound to destroy all evidence that could be harmful to Blade and his operation at the cost of his own life. Blade is noticeably upset and lets out a fat scream to portray to us, the audience, that this had a significant effect on him. Afterwards, he gives himself up to the police. While in custody, Blade is made a mockery of for thinking that vampires exist, so the world's creepiest psychiatrist comes in to give him a mental evaluation. This somehow turns into this guy talking about vampire sex.
Tell me about blood. You drink blood. You ever feel sexually aroused?
It is shown to us this guy's actually a pet to a vampire higher up, so he's actually there to kill Blade, but not before Deadpool himself saves the day and rescues Blade. More killing of people who are just trying to do their job ensues, and Blade is eventually taken to the Phase House for vampire killers. While Blade and New Whistler are out doing recon, they leave the actual blind scientist to monitor the security cameras while the other guys play basketball. In the plot twist of the century, this goes poorly and Dracula attacks the compound, killing everyone but Hannibal and the blind scientist's daughter to take them as hostages. When Blade and Whistler return, Whistler is obviously shaken up that all of her friends and family have just been killed, so Blade teaches her the only coping mechanism he knows: screaming.
Use it.
In retaliation to this attack, Blade and Whistler go to retrieve what's left of their friends and to kill Dracula. Everyone gets to fight different things while Blade and Dracula get to have what is honestly a pretty sweet sword fight. While everyone is doing productive things, Hannibal is running from Triple H's vampire dogs and manages to kill them Wile E. Coyote style by making them fall out of a window. Blade and Dracula are still fighting when Whistler lines up a shot of the final solution arrow, but Dracula catches the arrow, which is very familiar to how Loki caught the arrow in the first Avengers. Blade ends up stabbing the arrow into Dracula, killing him and presumably himself. But we get a cool narration from Hannibal describing that Blade never really died, but he faked it and is fine and is back to kicking ass, but the arrow was supposed to kill all the vampires, and I'm not sure what ass he's kicking, but I guess that's not really my problem. While I have some issues with this movie, like the dated CGI and the breakneck pace of the editing, I think this is a movie worth checking out if you are a fan of the previous two movies like myself. With that said, thanks for watching, and if you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one.